Hey y'all, thanks for checking out Euclid Mining. So today we're going to be talking about Trader Joe and how to use the trading, the pool, the farm, the staking, and we're going to briefly touch on the launch section. But I'm going to be showing you how to set up a farm. I'm going to be talking about staking and what I'm staking right now, and of course any of the trading that I'm doing. I really did a lot of research on this, trying to find some more articles, doing a lot of reading. Of course, I could find articles about staking and farms and things like this, but nothing that really broke down Trader Joe definitively and was able to show me how to do it. Everything I did, I learned on my own, and now that I feel relatively comfortable with it, I want to show you what I've learned. And if you want to get involved in this, of course, this isn't financial advice. Only do what's best for your pocket or pocketbook. Never invest in anything you're not willing to lose 100% of all your money in, all right? That being said, I want to go ahead and read you a little bit of an article that I have. I took this from Chain Debrief, and I have paraphrased for you here so I could break down the differences between staking and farming. Also, I will talk to you about the different strategies of that. So let's talk about staking. Now, staking would be one of the lower risks of this. Of course, any of these things are risky and you have to be careful because you could lose all of your money. And of course, with the market the way it is, you have to be careful. So let's talk about staking. And like I said, it is a little bit of a lower risk, though. If you want to talk about low risk, medium risk, and high risk, and if we talk about the high risk section of this, I would say everything we talk about today is in high risk. If you broke down high risk into three sections, low, medium, and high risk, you would have, low high risk, medium high risk, and high risk. So let's just remember that as we talk today, because I don't want anybody to be confused and think that you're going to make a whole bunch of money on this, especially with the market the way it's been. So let's be very careful about what we invest in, okay? So let's talk about staking, and this would be in the high risk section, but it would be the lower of the high risk section. Staking is basically locking up a token in a smart contract and getting rewards in return. Staking it on a smart contract helps the network security, and stakers are rewarded with tokens. This helps secure the blockchain, and validators are rewarded for keeping the chain secure. The reward is given by the protocol, and its calculated base is a simple rule. The more people that are invested, the lower that the APY or APR is going to be, and the fewer people that are invested in it, the higher it'll be. It's like a special that a business is running, and when a lot of people don't know about it, they run a special to get more people to come in. Once more and more people learn about it, they could take away that special because they have enough people coming in, and it's gotten word of mouth, and it's getting more and more traction, so they don't have to have a special anymore. Same thing with the APY. It's the same idea. So in some cases, they're very high, and then they come down a little bit as more people invest. And if a lot of people get out of it, then the reward will go a little higher. So it just depends on where they are in that. And that's what staking is. So you're basically, like I said, locking up a token, and you're putting it into one coin or token to do that. Now, when we talk about farming, there are different levels. So the farming, if you want to talk about in here, if you're talking about high risk, like I said, in general, you could talk about low high risk, medium high risk, and high risk. So if we talk about a lower high risk, it's when you're going to be farming with two stable coins. That's about the safest way you can do it if you did want to get into this, though nothing is safe in crypto, and you know that. But if you did it with two stable coins, because we saw what just happened with UST just the other week, and I am still in awe with that. But even with that stable coin, you saw how that fell from grace and ended up in the toilet. So, but typically, traditionally, two stable coins would be the safest and the most secure way to farm. The next one would be doing a stable coin and some sort of regular coin. That would be the next pairing that you could do. And then, of course, the high risk would be doing two regular coins together. So you would be doing, say, USDC with USDCE for the two stable coins. You would be doing, say, USDC with AVAX for a stable coin and then a regular coin, and then like two regular coins like AVAX and Joe token, which we'll talk about in the video. Those would be the highest high risk if you were to get involved with that. So that being said, let's talk about farming and the high risk that it is. Farming is providing liquidity into a protocol. It is essentially committing a cryptocurrency pair into a liquidity pool in exchange for yield. Liquidity providers, you and I, are then able to earn a percentage of the pool rewards based on the amount they contributed to the pool. So the more that you've invested, the more rewards you get. Like anything in life, the more that you put into something, the more rewards you get out of it. Liquidity providers provide cryptocurrency pairs in equal value to the pool. So again, like I was just saying there, you're going to be taking two different coins and putting them together to make that LP pair, the liquidity pair pool. So when you put those together, like the ones we talked about, it just depends on what you're going to be doing. Your rewards will be varied on that. Something like USDC with USDCE paired together is going to be a very low return compared to, say, a couple other coins or tokens that we're going to actually be working with today that have a much higher return. So we'll look at those also. In return for providing liquidity to the protocol, liquidity providers, you and I, earn trading fees and crypto rewards from the platform. Rewards are distributed based on the proportion of liquidity they contributed to the pool. So again, same thing I said before, the more that you put in, the more that you'll get out. So that's basically what farming and staking are. And like I said, these are all in the high risk category. It's just what level of that high risk category we're talking about. So always be careful when you invest in anything. That being said, let's hop over and get right into this video. All right, so let's talk about the different sections in here. Now, there's a lot of them that we're going to be going in back and forth between because we may have to do a little token swapping or coin swaps. So we're going to be back and forth through different sections. So try to, stay with me. It gets a little confusing as we go through because you have to jump back and forth between different sections, but we'll get to all of that, and I'll do it real slow so y'all can understand it because it took me a little while to understand all of this, and there's not much out there, like I said, that really talks about Trader Joe. So let's talk about the basics. First off, you're going to need to have a MetaMask wallet and have that installed with the Avalanche chain. If you don't have that, at the end of the video, we'll have a link up here for that. You can check that video out. It'll be how to add the MetaMask and then, of course, add all the different chains on your wallet, one being Avalanche, so you can use this platform. So the Trader Joe, this is their landing page, and we'll start off with trading, the basic and the most simplest part of their platform, though nothing is technically simple about their platform. It's very involved, and it's a great platform, in my opinion, very easy to use. So let's see, we have, suppose we want to trade AVAX for another coin. Simply hit the drop down, choose what you want. We have AVAX right now. Come down here, click here, and then let's say you want to trade for ApeCoin. So let's go ahead and click Ape, and here it is here. You choose how much Ape you want to get. You want to get one. It'll cost you 0.256375 AVAX. And then, of course, whatever gas fees, if I were to click swap like this, we would confirm the swap. And then over here, we would confirm it. Of course, I don't really need any Ape right now, so I'm just going to go ahead and reject. If we click confirm, we would have it. Now, let's say you did get the Ape into your wallet, and now you look at your MetaMask wallet and you say, okay, well, where's my Ape? I don't see it in here. Well, simply enough, just simply click right here, and that will automatically add the Ape token placeholder to your wallet. So let's just go ahead and click on this and I'll show you. It'll show up at the bottom, so it'll show up down here as the last one on my list. So just click on Ape. It'll ask me about it. Yes, we'll add the token. And now when I come to MetaMask, if I scroll down to the bottom, there's Ape right there. So if I did get Ape and it wasn't showing up on my wallet, simply it's right here. No big deal. You got it. Now I don't really need Ape, so we'll just go over here, and hide Ape because I don't need Ape in there right now. I'm not doing anything with it. That was just for an example. So that's trading. Now we're going to be using trading later on because we're going to be doing a couple different things. Today we're going to be using the farm. I'm going to be talking about staking, where I do have my money staked right now. So let's go ahead and jump over there and talk about stake. So if we click on stake, there are 4 sections in here. Let's talk about each section. So briefly, Arjo, and I'm really not going to get into this because this is one section that I haven't done a ton of research in, and I haven't, well, what research I have done on it, I haven't found much on it, but what I can understand is that when you participate in Arjo, it's exactly what it says, participate in the launch events. So here they are right up here for launch. So if you get Arjo, depending on how much Arjo you have, you'll be able to then participate in some of these events for staking here or unstaking. So this is how the Arjo works. It allows you then to participate in these upcoming or launched events. Upcoming, they have nothing launched right now. So again, I really haven't done anything into this. And with the crypto market the way it is, anything launching right now is really treading in some deep waters because the crypto market has been a little crazy lately, or a lot crazy, should I say, and anything new coming out is just up for really an uphill battle right now. It's going to be tough for them, and I wish any new projects the best, of course, but right now is a really tough time to be rolling out anything new because of where the Excuse me, just had some lunch earlier, where the market is right now. So it's a tough time to come out with something new. So hopefully, well, good luck to the people that do get into this, and I hope that they moon with any of the new projects. I really do. But that's what launch is. So if we go back to stake, and that's what the RJO is, they are linked together between them. Now let's talk about XJO. XJO and VEJO are virtually the same thing. XJO is what VEJO is like XJO 2.0. It's the next version over. They're closing this out. You can see there still is money in here. It's only available for withdrawal. So people that still have money in the XJO, they should be taking it out because this is going away. And it looks like they have quite a bit of money still in here. People that may have invested and just, that whole thing, set it and forget it.
Set it.
And they forget it, and they forgot they have it in here, but this is going away, and it is turned over to VEJO. Now, what is VEJO? Now, VEJO is when you're doing something in the farm area, and I will show you that in a second. We'll get to VEJO when we get to the farm. The other box in here is the SJO, and SJO is for Joe token, and that's the native token of Trader Joe. And if you believe in their token and in their philosophy, you can stake in their currency, which is Joe, and you simply go ahead and add your Joe in from here. Now, how do you get Joe? Simply by coming over to trade, coming over to here, and typing in Joe, and there's Joe. And then we can put whatever we want to put. If we want to buy, 100 Joe, it'll cost you 1.32065 AVAX. And then you click swap, approve it, and then when you come to your wallet, you will have Joe listed. I don't think I have any Joe in this wallet. Yeah, I have nothing right now. I've already staked it all. So let's go back to stake. So there's Joe. And right now you get a 2.88% APR. Now that's broken down for a 7-day APR. So every week, this is what you'll be getting. They pay you in USD and you get your rewards every single day. As it says right here, stake information, claim the share of the protocol revenue generated. So what does that mean? That means that anytime there's any transactions that are happening within Trader Joe, a small percentage, depending on how much Joe you have staked, you get a little piece of that action. The larger stake you have of Joe, the more of that percentage you get. So anytime any transactions happen, you get paid. A 0.05 fee is deducted from every swap and used to buy stablecoin, which is distributed to all SJO stakers. So again, that's how that works. There's the fee that they charge people for using their platform, and then that money is then distributed to all of the SJO stakers, and it's made available as USDC. The rewards are distributed roughly once per day, and you can harvest at any time. As you can see right here, I have a harvest button. I can collect my $1.04. So again, that's just how that works. Okay, let's go on. The APR 7-day metric shows an annualized return that is forecasted based on the revenue collected over the previous 7 days. So this is what they are anticipating the rewards will be over the next 7 days. But again, if trading goes down, then there'll be less fees being paid and less revenue coming in for you. So it just depends on how often this is. Now, with the market down, maybe there's a lot less trading than normal because people aren't jumping on those new projects that are coming up because, crypto is booming and people are really confident in it. So they're doing a lot of trading, a lot of buying. Right now it is down, so there are still trades happening, just not as many as there typically would be if the market was booming. So unfortunately it is down a little bit. Deposit fee is deducted when you deposit your Joe tokens. The deposit fee may be modified at any time. So when you deposit Joe, there is a 1% deposit fee. So that's the fee to deposit into the pool to get into this project. So depending on how much you put in, you'll lose 1% right off the bat. And then everything after that will be your earnings. So here it is right here, deposit fee, 1%. And right now I have 1,188 Joe. Now I bought this Joe when it was up at a full disclosure. This was probably around $800 at the time when I deposited this Joe. And the market is down, as you can clearly see. So do I just sit on the Joe and wait for it to boom back up? I could do that. I am getting 22.88%. What am I getting per week? On this Joe, I think I got about what did I get? $10 the other week, because I've had this going for about a month now, I would say. So again, it varies depending on the amount of fees that are being processed, and that's really how that works. So, okay, that's what Joe is. So let's go back to stake. So in here, the RJO, I believe, works with the launch platform. The XJO is being phased out, and the VEJO is what it's turned into. SJO is if you believe in their project and you want to invest in Joe, you can stake Joe, and that's right here with the 22.92% 7-day APR. Now, VEJO. What is VEJO? It says exactly right here. Boost your farm rewards. So certain farms offer boost rewards. So now that we've talked about the trade, we've talked about the stake, we've talked about the launch, let's talk about the farm. If we come to farm and we click on boost, it will show us just the farms that have the boost ability. So at one point I did have right here, I had MIM and AVAX, and that's one that I had for a little while going. It wasn't that bad. And you get the 28.67% APR for the pool. And then you also get almost 6% for Joe APR. So that is combined, and it's all paid out in Joe. So you get paid in Joe right here, and you're getting paid 34.7, about 34.7% APR. Not bad. Always remember though, when the market fluctuates and the price of these coins and tokens go up and down, so does your investment. Like I said, when I staked over on Joe, this was a lot more. I'll go back and I'll find out the exact number when I got into this. But it was definitely upwards of the 850, or maybe even a touch higher. I forget exactly what it was, but it was a little bit higher, I'm sure. And it's come down quite a bit. So I still have the same amount of Joe tokens that I had to start with, but they're worth less. So yeah, just about 40%, let's say, ish less. So yeah, that's that. But on the farm for the boost, so let's go ahead and click on that one because that's the one that I was involved with before. And it tells you what you have invested, and then it tells you your boost APR. Okay, so let's go back to stake and click on the VEJO. Now, I did have money in VEJO. I took it out because I wasn't staked anymore in that farm, and I didn't need the bonus. So let's talk about VEJO and how this works. Now, VEJO, you put a certain amount of money in here in Joe token. So let's say you put 100 Joe token in here. It will tell you how much VEJO you will earn every single day. When you first start this, you have 14 days to collect double rewards, and then after that, it goes down to just the regular reward base every day. So if you this is your first time getting into this, you will get a bonus VEJO every day, and you get that for 14 days. You get a 2x bonus. And here it is right here. I'm sorry, right here. Earn 2x VE per day for the first deposit, last 15 days. So that's for your first deposit. So if you deposit 1 Joe in here, and then you're like, oh wait, I meant to put 100 Joe. Well, only that 1 Joe is going to earn that 2x deposit for 15 days. So depending on what you want to invest, again, not financial advice, do what's best for your pocket or pocketbook. You want to invest the maximum amount you're kind of thinking of putting in here, because it's that investment that'll get that 2x boost. And that's it. Now, I haven't reinvested in Joe or in a staking pool that does have the VEJO boost. So I don't know if now, if I invest again for the first time, now that I've unstaked all that money, if now it'll be considered a brand new deposit, and I'll get that 15-day boost because I've completely unstaked all the money I had in there. I'm not sure. But once you do stake the money, and this is the kicker, once you've invested the money into this, or once you've put the money into VEJO and it sits here, okay, you've staked it. If you unstake it, as it says right here, if you unstake any amount of Joe, you will lose all secured VEJO. So at one point, I had about 7 or 8% of my 100% boost filled up with that VEJO. Now, since I was unstaking it and I took it out to go move it to something else, all the VEJO that I had accumulated gets wiped out. Even if you take 1 penny out of $1,000, or let's say you had 1,000 Joe and you took 1 Joe out, or 1/100th of 1 Joe, it doesn't matter. As soon as you take any of it out, you'll lose all of your VE bonus and you start all over again, even if you still have 999.99 Joe left in here out of the 1,000, because you took that little fraction out. It resets the bar and you start all over again. So be careful on how much you put in here, because you need to lock it in to get that bonus. And that's only if you want to take advantage of the bonus in the farms. So let's go, the boost in the farms. So let's go back to boost, and we can see that there are several in here. There are 2 pages. So yeah, there we go. Here's 2 more. And if we click on it, you can see the APR. You get that in Joe, and then that here would be your boost also. This would tell you what your stake is, how much you've put in here, and that's your boost. So now let's talk about how to put money in here, because you have to make an LP token, the liquidity paired token. And that's by taking 2 tokens and creating 1 token. So we're going to go ahead and show you how to do that as well, because there is a pool, a farm that I would like to get into. So if we click on top farms and I go down, and I'm looking, I'm not going to get into a whole talk about Yeti Finance, but I want you to go ahead and do your own research on that. But I think Yeti may have a future. Yeti is down quite a bit right now, along with everything else. Let's look at Joe real quick, since we were talking about it. Here's 30 days out. Joe at $1.10 almost, and Joe today at 40 cents, almost 41 cents. So down 60%. Okay, so yeah, I'm hoping that when the market recovers a little bit, my Joe will go back up and I'll have that full amount back in there. I didn't buy it when it was that high. Like I said, I bought it a little bit lower. So, but nonetheless, Avalanche, let's look at Avalanche. Avalanche at around, $74 here. Avalanche today, almost $31. So 74 down to $31. Quite a dip. What is that? 50 plus, maybe probably closer to 60% down. And the last one, Yeti Finance, and that's the one that I'm going to be putting a little money in today, and I'm going to show you how to do that. But also Yeti was rolling around $1, and Yeti today 11, almost 12 cents. So down almost 90% down. So I believe that Yeti Finance has a future, and I believe that Yeti Finance, when the market does recover up, I'm looking at potentially going into that dollar range again. Let's go 90 days out. And you can see that, it's around $1 when it was, when it came, it really spiked up. Let's go out max on that one. And it did spike, and it was going, and then of course the market started to come down, and the market's just continually dipped. But if that Yeti goes back up to around 80, 90 cents, or even if it hits that $1 again, I don't know if it'll sustain at $2 back where it was, but I think $1 is a very reasonable amount to say that Yeti will be at. And even if it is at 80 or 90 cents, I'm getting into it for about 12 cents. So even if it goes up to 80 cents, that's going to be an 8x on my money. And I like that. So I am putting a lot of my money. Let me just say that too. I am putting a lot of my money in stable coins and farming with stable coins. The return rate isn't that great right now, but and let's just take a look at that before we get into this and doing that one. Let's just go ahead and look at the stable farms. So if we look at right here, you can see that you're getting a 1.7% and you're getting a 0.15. So you're looking at about a 2% APR on your money. So if you have crypto and you don't want to cash it out, because when you cash it out, it's going to be taxed by Uncle Sam. So if you want to keep it in your DeFi wallet or in your space, and you don't want to pull that out just yet, and you want to still be making a little bit of money, but you're nervous on where to invest it, not financial advice, but if you did just have it sitting there anyway, why not put it in something that's going to get you 2%? 2%, what's that? It's 2%. Nonetheless, okay? And if it's going to sit there for the next month or two, or however long until the market corrects itself, or hopefully comes back up, who knows how long it may sit there. So why not let your money sit there, and as you want it, you can pull some of it out and take it from there, rather than just having it sitting in your wallet. And who knows where a lot of these coins are going to go. Now, if you think some of these coins have hit rock bottom, then perhaps you leave it in there because you think it's going to go up. And of course, you want it to go with it. If it's in USDC, you won't see that 8x or 10x return on your money if the coin does jump. But until we know, or at least have a better idea of where the bottom is, this is a thought, not financial advice, of course. So anyway, that's one. What we're going to do today is, because I'm going to go over to the top farms. I think I covered everything in the boost. But you can see there's many in here. You can even boost on the USDC one as well. And that one right there, again, is very low, running around 2%. But if you were to get your boost on here from your VEJO, and you were to tack on there another 5% or whatever you can tack on to it, then of course, you're looking a lot better to do the boost. Let me get back to that boost. If you can add another 5% on here, then maybe you have something worth holding on to. So again, that's going to be playing that side on how you want to handle that if you want to get into the VEJO side. Again, if you're investing in the VEJO to get that boost, that's less money that you're investing on this side. So, and again, you'll be buying it in Joe, and if Joe was to go down even lower, so would your value of the tokens that you have. So be careful on how much VEJO you really invest in there, but of course you want it to be enough to be that first 14 days, or what did I say that was, was it 14 or 15 days for the 15 days. For that first 15 days, you want that to be the highest it could be. But then again, once it's in there, it's in and it's locked. You can't take any of it out. So be careful. Well, you can. You just simply go to unstake and then take the money out. You just click max and take it all out, or however much you want. But again, you lose all that VEJO. So let's go to farm and let's talk about the farming. So top farms and Yeti. So I'm going to be doing Yeti. So how do I do this? Well, first I need to have the LP token. That means I need a Yeti and I need the Avalanche coin, and I need to put them together to make that liquidity pair. And then from there, I can then stake it. So first thing I need to do is I need to have some AVAX and I need to have some Yeti to do this. So we can click over here, get the LP token, and as you can see, then you can put in the Yeti and the AVAX that you have, which we don't have any Yeti right now. So we're going to go back over here to trade. Let's go down here. I do have some USDCE. We're going to go ahead and grab that. And over here, we are going to, over here, I'm sorry, we're going to put here, and we're going to go to Yeti. And, I'm not exactly sure how much I want to do just yet. So how much is, I don't even know what, let's do 1,000 Yeti. Now, you have to, that's another thing. Let me say that too really quick, because that's something important as well. You need to have equal shares of the coin or token in order to do this. You need the same amount of AVAX to match the same amount of Yeti to make the LP pair. So you do need to remember that as well. Of course, you want to leave a little money in your wallet for AVAX, for gas fees too. So always remember that. Even though the Avalanche chain is super cheap to use and super fast, there still is gas fees. So you need to leave a little in your wallet. So you know what, just for the argument today, we're just going to do 100 Yeti, just for the hell of it. And let's go ahead here, 0.008. So that's really not much at all. As a matter of fact, let's just check what that would cost us. So that swap cost us about 25 cents to do that. And that's okay. So now we know it's done. If we go to our wallet and we scroll down, let's scroll down. And did I have Yeti in here? Oh, I guess I don't. So we need to click right here and click to add Yeti to our wallet. And we'll click add token. And now when we scroll down, we should see Yeti right there. And we have our 100. So there we go. So now we have our Yeti. And we have our AVAX here, which should be more than enough. So now let's go back to farm. Let's go back to my top farms. Let's go to the Yeti. Now for this one, when we do stake here, we are going to be paid out in Joe and in Yeti. So there will be 2 separate payouts for this. So that's going to be kind of nice because, again, if you believe in Yeti and you believe that they may be going somewhere, eyelash is poking me in the eye. Damn it, get out of there. Then you may want to hold on to some of that Yeti and just let that stack up. Same with the Joe. The Joe, eventually the price will come back up. God willing, it'll come back up, and when it does, so will your value of what you have. So anyway, we're going to be doing Yeti and AVAX. So now we want to get the LP token, so we come over here and we can go for this. So if we say we want the max amount of the Avalanche that we have, it will tell us how much of we'll need of the Yeti. If I click max over here, it'll tell us what we have over on this side. So let's what did I do? Did I just buy 100? Is that what I bought? Yeah, I bought 100 Yetis. So we're going to click the max over here. Because I click max over here, it's going to say that we could do this much, but we didn't buy that much Yeti, and I'm not going to do that much anyway. So we're just going to do the max amount of Yeti we have, which is 100, and that'll be 0.37997 AVAX to do that. So we're going to approve the Yeti. So we're going to have to approve that first. Oh, sorry. So we're going to approve that first. Take just a second. Of course, on the Avalanche chain, things do move pretty quick, so we don't have to wait too long to have this happen. And there it is. You can see it's approved. So now we just got to give it a second. All right, so now what we do is we click on the supply. So the first one was to approve that we were going to be doing this, and the second one is going to be to supply it. So now that we're going to supply it with the amount that we have, and that will be 5.75721 of the Yeti AVAX LP token. So we're going to confirm that supply. And we're going to scroll down, and that is going to be 0.386 for the fee for that. So that's going to be a little bit higher than the first one. And so that was about $8. I'm sorry, almost about $12. To do all of that right there. So again, you probably want to do this with a little bit more than what you're doing, than just a couple Yeti and a couple AVAX, because it does cost a couple bucks. But again, I'm just doing this for a tutorial. I'll be deciding on how much money I'm going to be putting in here myself. I'm going to be looking at the different balances I have and seeing where I want to pull. I don't know if I may pull the money out of my stake and put it over to here, but for now, I just wanted to show you how to do it. So now that we have that, we'll go over to the farm, just make sure. And as you can see, now I have the LP token balance. I have it right here. And then we will click max, and then I will click approve. And of course, another gas fee, 0.0014, confirm, 0.0014. So about 4 cents for that one. So still around $12.50 to do all of this. So there it goes. It was approved. And we're going to be looking right over here for the change. Now for this one, we are getting almost 11% here. We're getting 12.5% here. And we're getting an almost 97% bonus APR automatically here. So, and as you can see, when it has the 2 coins right here, that means you will be getting 2 currencies when you do harvest. Max, stake. Maybe the first one was to interact with the contract, and the second one is actually going to be to actually put it in the farm. So let's let that go for a second and see if that, I got it right there, 1 pending. All right, there it goes. And there it is right there. It all went in. So that looks pretty good. Sorry, my son came in. He was asking me what I was doing. I said I was farming, and he wanted to come over and see what I was growing. He does know a little bit about this stuff. He's very young. He just turned 9, but he is learning. And when he saw the screen, he was like, "Oh, are you doing an LP token?" And I was like, "Well, that's right, I am." So I was very proud. He remembers what I tell him, so kind of cool. Anyway, we do have it in there. We have $23.70. Not a whole hell of a lot, but like I said, I was just doing this for an example. We do get the almost 11% APR for the pool. We do get the 12.5% for the Joe APR, and we are getting the bonus 96.8118, 1% for the bonus. Now, This bonus was higher. It was about 103 about a week or so ago when I was looking at this initially, or several weeks ago when I looked initially. But last week when I was looking at this again, it was at about 103. And what happens is that it's come down a little bit because the more people that invest in this, the lower the APR will go. So they don't have to pay out as much because there are more people involved. They don't have to make it as enticing for people to get involved in the project or to do the LP staking. So if there aren't a lot of people, the bonus will go a lot higher, like it was at about 103. So it is down a little bit, but not much. So there still isn't a whole lot of people investing in this. And that's okay. It is a little more risky. It's a lot risky. What am I saying? It's a lot risky, especially with some things like Yeti. It is with AVAX, which is nice, but even AVAX is down, tremendously, as we showed earlier. So look, always be careful when you invest in any of these things. Always be prepared to lose the money. Nothing is certain, in the market today with the way things have been. It's just been crazy. And I believe the other day they were looking at the U.S. stock exchanges, and they're now calling them in a bear market also because it's come down over 20%, which is the definition of a bear market technically. So, across the board, all over the place, crypto, stocks, there's inflation, everything's going a little, bonkers right now. With the country and the way we have things being run, but that's life, and that's the society and what we live in. So we have to deal with it. And we have to do the best to make the best decisions we can. So be careful out there with what you invest in, because I'd hate for you to leave any comments below of losing any money. I know I've lost some money, but overall, because I've been diversifying and spreading my money out, I've had better results as far as when the market did go down. So this is just a little taste of what I'm doing. You have to go out there and do a little more research and find out if what you're investing in is truly what you should be investing in. At least this way, if you do decide to do one of those investments, you can watch the video. So again, if you want to learn about how to put MetaMask on your computer, I will have a link up here for that. And that'll be everything for adding different chains and adding tokens and so on and so forth. Of course, if you want to help support the channel, which I always appreciate, hit the subscribe button. It's right over here. I appreciate any thumbs up you give me. It definitely helps the channel for all the work that I do. And I'll see y'all next time. Thanks for checking in.